How long does it take to connect? Oh, here we go. Now we're live. Alright. Hello and thank you for watching the Old Joe Show. Today our discussion will be very specific. Druid tanks. From retail to vanilla, let's cover it all. I'm excited. Kale's excited. Shim's excited. And I think KK's excited too. I think we're ready to roll. So, Kale, let's start off with an easy one. Why is armor so important for Druid tanks?
Makes him get hit for less.
Alright, good job. So, Shim, I got a question for you. What's up with the name Doo-Doo anyway?
I don't know. I think it's some kind of malfunction in the brain of Europeans or Brazilians, maybe. I don't know what's up with that.
That's a good question. What do you think's more retarded? Brazilians or Europeans, KK?
You have to go with Brazilians on this one.
Yeah. If you just joined looking for a dungeon and you're playing BFA, and you got a guy talking in Portuguese and you got a guy talking in... Fuck, I don't know. Is there anything worse than a BR?
Not for looking for group tanks.
See the Blood Elf Death Knight come in, you know you're gonna have a good time.
Or Worgen.
Either one. Fucked. Anyways, back on topic. Shim, you have a lot of personal experience with Druid tanks. After all, you were the big show back in Torrent Greymane on your Druid Shimian Knight. Tell us about your experience, my man.
Oh, me, I was terrible at the game then, and it was still pretty fun.
What made it fun?
Knowing that I was with the best tank on the server, known as Bobby Jack, the Jack Master, dude. Head
Oh,
side. Yep.
Yeah.
Had some good times there, dude.
You've been
Tank
living a Druid
brothers.
though on gummies recently. You played
Yep.
bear at all?
I tanked a few things.
Like your solo Nomergun run?
That was fun.
Do you do that as bear?
I did most of it as bear. Snuck and bear. Cat would just get obliterated.
I guess that's, since this is the classic and BC COD podcast, I guess we should talk about those Druid runs, huh? Druid Rogue stealth runs?
Good old Lober's fucking farm.
Yeah. I think you can do it in, I remember people doing Undead Strat, but it sounds hard as fuck at the same time, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Strat has mobs that can see yourself from a mile away.
Yeah. I guess that's just one of those cool things about old school WoW though, huh? Doo-doos and rogues, chillin'. And Kale leveled a Druid heal on Elysium, right? Would you recommend it to other people?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, Feral Druid is pretty fun.
Why?
The DPS and it's pretty shit, but tanking's really good for 5-mans. On certain bosses, you can even tank in 40-mans. You can tank 20-mans just fine. And it's just more fun tanking on that than a warrior, especially in dungeons, because you just use swipe. You don't gotta tab target, asunder or anything. It's easier.
Is the gearing more enjoyable, or is it just frustration? Because it's unique.
I don't know. I just think it's more fun than playing a warrior. Well, for tanking in dungeons, at least. I hate tanking dungeons and as a warrior.
Guess that makes sense. KK, thoughts?
I'm the complete opposite.
What would
I
you
love
say?
tanking on warrior
Why?
because it requires the tab targeting and requires you to be active. I hate tanks that just run into a pack of mobs and use one ability. It's like Feels like Legion tanking almost, or LFG tanking. Better to have that action. Popping shield block, tab target at Sunders.
Well, there we have it, folks. Warrior tanks versus druid tanks. What are some stereotypes about bear tanks, though? Because I remember when I saw a bear tank back in the day, I'd always be like, oh, fuck. Here we go.
In
Bears
vanilla?
tanking. Yeah, in vanilla.
In vanilla, I thought they were complete shit too, but if you use like regrowth and rejuvenation every fucking pull, you'll never lose threat on anything.
Does thorns cause threat?
I think causes a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
That's pretty beast mode. Do druids have the stereotype of being spurgs like Ripplin, who's been kicked off the old Joe show? Furries or mental defectives?
I think the ones that think they can DPS do.
What about in BC though? Don't you have a feral druid in Rep, by the way? Neem, by the way?
Any pipes? That's in BC, not vanilla.
Is there any hope for druid DPS in vanilla?
Yeah, they can do okay damage. They just need the right shit.
I mean, might as well just bring another warrior or rogue.
That's true. It's a lot less work. If you just bring one of them.
Yeah, the pack's not worth it.
Well, they're gonna
10%
get
voice.
fed, like this fun.
And still do shit.
They'll do poor
okay.
compared to equally geared warrior.
Could they beat a hunter in T2 gear? T2 equivalent gear?
It's probably about the same.
So what's the fucking point of playing a druid,
I
man?
mean, they do bring 3% crit to make other people feel a
Dude,
little better.
what is the
about
fucking
themselves.
point of playing a druid? Besides, I guess PvP sounds pretty fun, but if you don't want to heal and you want to play PvE, is there any hope?
Yeah, Druid gets super
You
gimped in PvE.
You can you tank 40 mans as a feral on certain bosses, not every boss though.
They can solo tank and mix you.
I guess that's something. Do druids have anything like Berserker Rage?
Nope.
Nope. You get feared, you're fucked. So you have fear ward
Never rolled them
or
wards.
a Tremor Totem. I also think doesn't their trinket, PvP trinket, break fear? I forgot. You can switch out of bear form and use that if it does.
Yeah, it's kind of nice actually. At the end of the day, does your class even matter though? If you're playing vanilla, like if you're playing for fun, KK.
If you're just playing for fun, then it doesn't matter what you're playing. But I'm talking about if you're talking about raid progression stuff, I don't see a reason a guild would bring a druid tank over a warrior tank. I don't see what a druid tank would bring that a warrior doesn't. That warrior just doesn't crush them at.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just saying,
Would you
why,
ever play
why
druid?
in vanilla? No, because I don't really like restoration, and that's what I'd be playing if I were raiding.
Shin, would
Just
you?
imagine being a druid in vanilla. You have fucking subpar healing. You can't tank every boss. I mean, DPS is shit. And Boomkin just can't DPS at all.
They get super gimped in PvE, but they are the kings of PvP.
I guess that's the trade-off.
It's sort of like Hunter though.
They also have battle res.
Oh, you got a point right there, man. They have battle res.
They have battle res, fairy fire.
Is Fairy Fire stack
Can't
with
really-
other armor debuffs?
It probably does, but there's a thing about vanilla called a debuff limit cap.
Oh yes. Please tell our viewers about that, Shim.
Oh, well, you see, it depends what patch it is. It's either 8, debuffs or 16 max debuffs, and no more debuffs can get put on the target. So you gotta use them wisely. With 40 people, it's kinda hard to do.
Boy, as a warlock main, boy, that hurts my soul.
A Warlock main, you'll have Curse of
8
fucking
debuffs?
Shadow,
That's so bad, dude.
and you'll have Shadow Bolt. There you go.
8 debuffs. I feel like if you're in a 5-minute instance, you're gonna have fucking 8 debuffs on a target sometimes.
Yep. That's not hard to accomplish. I think Druids
Didn't
are
we
the best.
change that though?
Druids or Paladins definitely beat Warriors in tanking 5 mans, in my opinion.
No.
I don't know about a paladin.
I think they do.
So with a druid, you just tank with what you have. You don't need mana pots or anything. Paladin does.
If you want to speed run a dungeon, a
So
Paladin's
yeah,
probably
paladin
quicker than a
has to
warrior.
bring more just to do it better than a warrior. Where druid and warrior just bring their class. Paladin has to bring mana pots, MP5, and everything.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the paladin part. I mean, when we were doing our original Nost leveling, paladin started to struggle in the 40s. Just to tank.
I just
Tank
find
well.
on Oldemon, dude. 3-man Oldemon.
Yeah, but I mean, just keeping threat sometimes can be a pain. And then going
You know, if
Yeah,
you're just
that's a
chilling
big
there
thing.
and some Rip Jr. gets a huge eviscerate crit.
Hey, it's fun. No way to pick up aggro if someone
That's-
accidentally crits hard.
That's why his class has advantage. And a feint.
Except warlocks.
Yeah, but if the tank can't react to that, yeah, for a warlock it's a fat shadow bolt.
Warlock, it's a fat, you better switch target and you sacrifice your Void Watcher.
Yeah, it's true. That is true.
Come on, you know Warlocks ain't even gonna be able to put their shit on the mobs. It's just gonna
Yeah,
resist.
but still, you can still get a fat shadow bolt. Those things hit like Vans. Even
That's
without
true.
shadow vulnerability or any other debuffs. What if you're like, you just hopped on the classic WoW, you just picked up like, mommy bought it for you at Walmart, and you decided to level a druid and you hit 60. Do you think like your enjoyment of the game would just like fall off once you realized hardly anyone wants you?
No, because they want you in PvP.
Do you
I think back in the day, people didn't really care as much about being meta. They just brought whoever.
It's also true.
But if you're talking about WoW Classic, where people are already going to know everything, I think it's going to be hard to find a raid spot as a non-restoration druid.
Part of the draw, though, of classic WoW is that the PvE and PvP are so intertwined, though. So for a feral druid or druid in period to be effective in PvP, unless they're like super high rank and have PvP gear, they're gonna need to do PvE, which means they're gonna have to constantly switch between specs and crap like that. And just the amount of like dedication to gear up a druid for PvP sounds like
Sounds like a
to
Rep
me.
Paladin.
Yeah. You get on gear progression for a Rep Paladin stops at the unstoppable force. You're not getting much better unless you're healing in MC, at least in my opinion.
You just gotta be the gym of your own guild.
That's true.
You feed yourself all the loot first.
Yeah.
Ash Condi, that's going to me. It's kind of what Esfon did.
Yeah, but like people like that, the cult streamers with like cults of personality almost, like they can get away with that.
Before that, he wasn't big at all before that. No one knew who he was. What you gotta
Still.
do is pay your hunters in your guild to name their pets after you, so it looks like you're higher on the meters than you actually are.
Dude, do you think raid sets are gonna exist for classic WoW?
Of course,
It's
it's gonna be way better than what it was on private servers.
Yeah. It's true, it's true, it's true. You think it's gonna be even more competitive when you have like thousands of guilds running MC and BWL, and you're gonna have hundreds of GMs and officers looking through charts and meters to see who's good for recruitment and all that?
I'm sure they'll be trying to scalp. I mean, there's 40
I got a-
people.
I got a question about what you just said about Classic being more competitive. Do you guys think that top retail guilds or top private server guilds are going to come out on top?
The private servers, I think so. I think so, because they've been playing the same content for fucking like 10 years, ever since vanilla ended. They've had the watered down Phoenix experiences, but assuming Classic is exactly the same, they're gonna know all those little nuances and DPS and even like leveling and questing and shit like that. PvP, for instance, that AV skip that Horde can do. Crap like that.
I
Shim?
think the leveling's going to be the biggest thing, actually. It's a completely different world. I mean, it's not destroyed by Deathwing. It's actually a completely different world. And it's much slower, with a lot less zones you can go to.
Grinding for XP, boys. Where would you recommend to grind for XP, Stank, since you know, or KK, since you already know so much about grinding?
Oh, grinding for XP? Well, I mean, I know the Frost Mage AoE spots, but when it comes to just grinding solo as a non-mage, or like if you're grinding as a warrior or something, I think you should just stick to quest, honestly.
There's
Try
actually
to.
good spots to grind though as a warrior. I mean, it's not just grinding herbs either. And then you come out with a couple levels, you know. But
Are you talking about grinding while leveling or at 6?
Like while you're leveling, because I mean,
there's
I
decent
feel like you're
grind
gonna have
spots.
to.
Mobs have armor values, and some mobs have low armor values. Just gotta know which ones.
I'm just kind of curious how Classic will turn out, though, when it comes to those first few weeks. If it's just going to be a shit show when it comes to leveling.
It's probably gonna be a fucking shit show.
It's just going to be, I think, just
There's gonna
complete
be
disparity.
spaghetti. There's gonna be spaghetti on the bottom, and then there's gonna be the champion sauce on top, and there's gonna be some meatballs on top of that.
Do you think there's gonna be a PTR though for Classic?
Probably. I would hope not.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be. I think that's what's gonna give the modern retail players an advantage.
That's what's gonna give everyone an advantage,
Oh, yeah, I guess
honestly,
everyone, yeah.
because they're gonna be able to make mods and add-ons, rather.
I haven't made add-ons.
No. I was thinking about what the meta's going to be on Classic, and you know, you're just talking about PTR. Blizzard doesn't leave their PTR up for like months and months for people to do raid testing and stuff. It's usually only for like 2 or 3 weeks, but it's not every day. It's whenever they allow testing during those weeks. I think the meta might be to boot up your own private server with your guild and clear the content week by week for a few months. That's what the top guilds will do, to try to secure that world first. Even though the private server has a little bit different values than what Classic will have, they'll still get the experience, and it'll still help. And they'll be able to have it up for as long as they want because it's their own server.
Yeah, that's true. Do you think those queer modes, like in those top raiders, like Method, are gonna have their paid athletes grinding that shit? Think it's gonna be like competitive as like Modern WoW? Cause
Apparently, it's bannable to account share
in what?
in retail.
Oh, really?
In WoW period, it's bannable. Yeah,
Hasn't that been bannable for a while?
so, yeah, it's supposed to be since like vanilla. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Method and those top guilds would play Classic, well, at least seriously. Because they want to invest their time into the new content that hasn't been showed yet.
Yeah, because they can make new record with the new content.
Yeah, I guess the record's already there for the old
But
content.
you can crush old records.
Yeah, but I mean, that makes sense. I guess it's just willing it, or just it'll be determined if like the CEOs or whatever think that's gonna get in the cash. Because I know like on Twitch, I guarantee you when Classic comes out, as plenty of people have said, there's just gonna be shitloads of people on Classic.
Even Fortnite.
There's gonna be hundreds of thousands of viewers and gamers, and
I think day one Classic on Twitch is gonna have more than 1 million viewers.
probably. All I'm wondering is if Dr. D's gonna play it.
Just depends who which streamers actually go onto it. Like any game.
Soda poppins going on. There you
Like
go.
Soda Poppin', Lyric, Summit, Shroud, like all those big streamers are gonna hop on it.
Partly because of the hype, and I think partly because if you play PC, I know that sounds cringy, but it's almost like a guarantee you've played WoW once before as well, in some form. So they probably remember. They probably want to go back, go back home.
How long do you think WoW Classic will actually stay popular?
Fucking longer than Legion did.
Honestly, depends how they do it.
I think it'll stay popular the whole time, but it's gonna have a drop off after like 6 months or so.
Probably gonna have a drop off after the first month as well. A pretty big one.
Yeah, as people hit 60 and then start doing circles around Stormwind, like
Not
someone
even.
I know.
There's gonna be people who quit before that because it's too much.
You think it will be? You think
Yeah,
Classic WoW's gonna
definitely.
be too much?
Vanilla is long, dude. It is a long con.
Yeah, you're right.
I think now, yeah. It might be a lot too much for a lot of people that are used to quicker and easier things.
It's like comparing WoW to fucking EverQuest, the original. Now you can compare Legion to WoW, and that's what it's like. The vanilla rather classic.
Yeah, because WoW Vanilla just used to be the Care Bear game.
Now we're talking about it as if it's some hardcore experience. Because I guess it is 2018. Holy shit. Oh, when's it coming out? Let's hang out. KK and I were talking about this the other day. I'm thinking 2020.
It's here this year, November fucking 23rd, or next year, November 23rd. That's my guess.
It's like an anniversary thing.
Yep.
It's
Probably not gonna be this year.
It's not gonna be this year. They would have said something about it already.
It'll be the 15th year anniversary.
That actually makes sense.
I think it's
So
gonna
they-
be 2019. It's either gonna be Q1 2019, or it's gonna be Q4 2019 on November 23rd.
November 23rd. That's my honest guess. I've been saying it since day one of the classic hype launch reveal, rather.
I think they'll say something about it at this BlizzCon though. They have nothing else to talk about anyway. They have no big games to announce.
I hear that all the time about BlizzCon, and they still don't announce shit.
With Diablo 4.
Unless they say Diablo 4, like Warcraft 4 or something, just like pull it out of their ass out of nowhere, then that'll be something to talk about. But right now they have nothing to talk about. There's no expansion for any of their games. Just like they could talk about like a new patch for their games, but that's not like something huge.
Are the fanboys gonna flip if they say nothing at all about Classic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always spurring about that. I just can't wait for Overwatch 2 to get announced.
I can't wait for to announce Overwatch Battlegrounds.
I'd be playing it. You could pick up weapons.
Honestly, I think they're gonna make a StarCraft Battlegrounds. They haven't really made anything with StarCraft lately. It's dying. They gotta bring it back somehow.
It could be third person, over the shoulder. It'd be,
It'd be
and you could choose between either being a human, an alien, or Well, Protoss is Zerg. 3 options. Yeah. Anyways, what are the videos that came out of Classic? The only one I remember is the one where they tour the starting zones, and they have like the old or new shading effects on the old world. Is that the only thing that's come out about Classic so far?
We don't even know if there was Classic, but if it was, that's the only thing, yeah. Besides the reverse trailer from BlizzCon.
Maybe it was all a hoax, man.
They dug their own grave. It's a hoax.
I feel like it was like similar to Nintendo's Metroid Prime 4 ass pull last E3, where it just said it's in development. Because I don't think they had any groundwork really done for it.
Just say it's in development for the next 10 years until everyone forgets about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Could be, actually, but it probably isn't. I think they actually see a way to make a lot of money here. They don't fuck it up.
For sure.
I think it's been planned since April 2016 when they met with Nas.
I still feel like it's really in the really early development stages. I think they just got teamed together for it, just like right around the time they announced it.
Honestly, it depends how they go about making it. They try to like soup up the old engine. I'm sure they still have like old copies of old world they can easily copy and paste.
They do. They don't have to build the game. All they have to do is update the infrastructure. The game's already there. They've said they have all the code. They just have to figure out what patch, or if they do a Franken patch like Nas did, it's like everything mixed. They have to figure that out, and then they gotta update the infrastructure. But they already have all the old code, like the game world, everything's there, so they don't need to even develop that.
I feel like they'll just release it whenever it suits retail the best. Like whichever, like what date will hurt it the least. Probably be like sometime mid-expansion.
It'll be during a content drought for sure. Probably.
And I was thinking they're gonna release like a patch a couple weeks after Classic to try to pull people back to BFA. Like a really cool patch.
Just so they can have WoW Classic fail and say, "We told you so."
I still personally think they're making Classic WoW. They're not really 100% into it, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like it feels like they're kind of doing it just to appease people.
That's the word I was looking for, yeah. Well, boys, we got a minute left of the show for a 30-minute max. You guys got any more thoughts about Druid tanks?
They're not so bad in BC, and they're pretty good in dungeons and vanilla. Can't say about anything else though.
Kale, any final words?
Yeah. My thoughts about Feral Tank is roll one if you want. They're pretty good, but it's gonna be hard to find a raid spot.
Krusty Krab?
Yeah, basically what everyone else already said. Wouldn't expect much out of Druid tanks during vanilla, but I think in BC they're more than viable.
Nice. Alright. Here's my thoughts. In a world where min-maxing class research is unprecedented, with spreadsheets and stats of the wazoo, I would recommend just clearing your mind, looking at the classes, looking at the races, looking beyond what the class rules are and how they should play or any other that crap. Just play what looks cool, man. If you think it looks cool, allow the fantasy in your mind to take over and play the game for you. Enjoy yourself, express yourself, and tune in next time for the Old Joe Show's episode 4.